There's a number that's lined up with every major crash since 1800, 1929, 1973, 1989, 2008. Same pattern every single time. It's not interest rates, it's not politics. Most economists won't even mention it. It's land. In this video, you're going to understand exactly how this pattern works, why it's repeated for over 2 centuries, and most importantly, where we sit in 2026 in this land cycle. You'll walk away with a lens that makes the next few years of economic news make a lot more sense. So let's crack on. From historic data going all the way back to 1800, land prices go up for around 14 years, then they fall for around 4 years. That gives you a repeating cycle of roughly 18.6 years, known as the 18.6-year land cycle. Researchers call this the land cycle. Land goes up for a long stretch, then corrects hard. And this same rhythm shows up again and again across 200 years of data. So why does land and not interest rates drive these cycles? To understand why, you have to go back to where this all started. Land used to be treated as common, something nobody could fully own, like air or water. Over time, that changed. Land became enclosed. It was fenced off, it was titled, and turned into private property, granted and protected by government. Once land was enclosed, it could be priced and traded like any other asset. It stopped being something you simply used and became something that you could buy, sell, and borrow against. That's the moment that speculation became possible. People started betting that the price would keep climbing, and banks started lending against that rising price too. Land is unique as collateral. A car loses value the moment you drive it off the lot. A laptop is outdated in 3 years. Land doesn't wear out. So as land prices rise, banks feel more comfortable lending bigger and bigger amounts against it. That lending doesn't stay in the bank. It flows out into the wider economy, more borrowing, more spending, more confidence. Economists call the value land gains from its location, from the community around it, rather than anything the owner built or improved, economic rent. It's a value that appears without the owner lifting a finger, and because it can be borrowed against, it feeds the cycle. So say for instance, if you moved into a house and then the next year they developed a tram, a train line and a school, your house would appreciate because of nothing that you've done, but because of the environment around it leading to higher speculation on that land. That's what we call economic rent. It's the gain on your land asset that you see because of the environment around it being developed. This is why watching land stops the economy feeling random. There's one specific thing driving it. So what are the 5 phases? The cycle breaks into 5 clear stages. Recovery. Prices are low, credit is available, but most people are still cautious from the last downturn. Then there's the mid-cycle dip. Roughly halfway through the upswing, there's a short slowdown. A lot of people mistake this for the end of the cycle and pull back too early. Then there's the winner's curse phase. The final years of the upswing, prices are climbing fastest, confidence is highest, and most people are taking on the most amount of leverage right at the point where the risk is greatest. Then there's the peak. Land prices top out. This is the hardest phase to spot in real time because sentiment is usually at its most bullish or most euphoric, exactly when the cycle is turning. Then there's the downturn. Credit pulls back, land values fall, and the wider economy follows, usually with a bit of a lag. So what about the historical record to back this up? This 5-phase rhythm shows up cycle after cycle. It's different decades, it's different headlines, but it's the same underlying pattern. So where do we think we sit in 2026? The current upswing began around 2011 to 2012 after the 2008 global financial crisis. That puts us at roughly 14 years into this cycle right now, the historical length of a full upswing phase. Researchers tracking this cycle are watching a window between 2026 to 2028 for the next peak. That peak hasn't been confirmed yet, but several late cycle signals are worth watching. Stress showing up in the private credit markets, long-term interest rates climbing against already high land values, and speculative assets that ran hard in 2024 and 2025 beginning to cool down. None of those signals on their own confirms anything, but together they're the kind of texture that are shown up near the end of every previous cycle. This pattern doesn't give you an exact date or a percentage. What it gives you is a lens. Once you know that the 5 phases, the next few years of economic news stop feeling random, you know what to watch for, and you know roughly where you are on the map. The value isn't in making one call and moving on. It's using this framework to keep checking the signals as 2026 unfolds, and updating your thinking as new information comes in. If this helped you, subscribe for more weekly deep dives and check out my other video linked to above, where I break down how a single DNA mutation explains why we value scarcity. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.